Well, hello. Today is December 18th, and we are continuing our journey of the Via Advent, our walk towards Christmas, which is coming soon, the coming of the Christ child in our midst. And today we have chapter 22, A Quiet Divorce. And there is a lot in this little reading, so I'll make sure I try to keep it under my 4 minute limit. One is, the quote from Deuteronomy that opens it up on page 92. I mean, there were explicit instructions as to what was to be done here. Judaism had very, very strict rules about what was allowed, not allowed, what would keep people pure versus impure, clean versus unclean, holy versus unholy, and these were followed to the letter. Why it's called the law, and the law stipulated that Mary could die for this action. There was a different understanding of a woman's place in society and the rights that unfortunately men had in a patriarchal system back then. Gave her very few options. Her life was in Joseph's hand at this moment, and as the reading says, had he chosen, he could have had her killed for her infidelity. So that is one part, that this was clearly within Joseph's right. And then on page 93, the quote from Philip Yancey, I'd never thought of this before, is that I underlined, God arranged the most humiliating circumstances possible for his existence. I mean, God really did choose to come among us, having all the cards stacked against him, to an oppressed people in a backwater society, to a young woman who, by all accounts, is not a person of means, young. It's just, you couldn't think of a weaker way to come into the world, and yet God comes to us that way. But I'm ahead of myself. This poetic explanation of Joseph's trauma, of his struggle, of what he will do. And I guess I do appreciate the fact that he experiences the human emotions that we all feel, shock, abandonment, betrayal, anger. And you've got those points where he picks up the stone and he sees the blood from his own hand on the ground. And he decides to do the loving thing, as far as he understands at this point. He is going to secretly let Mary out of their agreement. Although this last line, one of these lines I underlined, he said he would quietly and discreetly write up a divorce dismissal and attempt to put his life back in order. And I think at the time, when something has gone tragically wrong in my life, how quickly I want to go to, well, I'm just going to get over it and put my life in order. When there's so much more that has to happen, so much of an emotional roller coaster, and just an acceptance of the pain and the grief, and really the opening to what is possible then, because as you and I know, the story is different. They don't get a divorce. But yeah, now I realize I'm venturing into tomorrow's territory. So, yeah, I think I'll end that one here. Let us say the prayer together, or listen to me pray. With the woes of sin and strife, the world has suffered long. Beneath the angel strain have rolled 2,000 years of wrong. Peace on the earth, goodwill to men, from heaven's all-gracious King. The world in solemn stillness lay to hear the angels sing. You are the Father whom I adore. You are the Son forevermore. You are the Spirit that has been sent. Blessed Trinity, help me understand your advent. Blessings. See you tomorrow.